Today we are crafting this gorgeous beach-inspired DIY bracelet stack. I've brought together 3 of my favorite mini tutorials into one complete step-by-step masterclass so you can master every single piece from start to finish. Yeah, she has the dad puns. Thanks for being here. Let's get beading. Start by threading 3 feet of fire line on a beading needle. Pick up 6 delica beads, slide them down the thread, leaving a 3-inch tail for knotting. Take your needle back through the delica beads to make a loop. Pull the ends snug. Go back through the beads one more time and exit next to the tail thread. Tie a square knot or 2. Pick up 3 delica beads, then thread the tail through them to hide the knot. Pick up a crystal bicone and 3 delicas. Slide down the thread. Then run the tail back up through the beads. Tie a knot. Now we just continue the simple stringing pattern of 1 crystal and 3 delicas until the bracelet is the length you want. You can continue tying knots and running the tail back through the beads, or snip off the excess tail thread. I'm keeping this video real time for a cozy coffee break beading session, but if you want to jump to the finishing steps, just skip to the timestamp in the chapters. For this bracelet, I used 22 bicones to end up with a 7.5-inch bracelet, including the lobster claw clasp and jump ring catch. Once the final crystal and delica section is complete, pick up 6 delicas for the clasp loop. Take the thread back through the 6 delicas you just added. Pull the thread tight, forming the loop. Go through the 3 delicas, the bicone, and the next 3 delicas. Keep the thread tension snug. After exiting the final delica before the bicone, wrap your working thread around the foundation thread between the delica and the bicone. Leave a little loop. Go through the loop once or twice, then pull the knot snug. Go through the bicone and the next 3 delicas, pulling the knot into the bicone. Repeat these same steps until your working thread gets too short to use. Now we'll add the clasp. I'm using a lobster claw and jump rings for mine, but the process is similar for most basic clasps. Use 2 pliers to twist the clasp ring open. Put the open ring through the beaded loop. Use the pliers to twist the ring closed. We'll repeat the same process of using a jump ring through the bead loop to serve as our clasp catch. Want to make this striking and stackable flat woven tile bracelet? Today I'll show you a foolproof step-by-step pattern using Tila beads and delicas to create a perfectly aligned geometric look. Thanks for being here. Let's start making. Start with about 4 to 5 feet of fire line on a beading needle. I'm using a big eye needle for this project. String 6 delicas, slide them down the thread leaving a 6-inch tail. Use a bead stopper or a spare bead to secure the tail. Pick up 1 Tila bead and 3 delicas. That's the simple and stunning pattern that will follow for the complete bracelet. Now we repeat with a single Tila and 3 delicas until we have the length we need. I used 17 Tilas to make this 6 3/4 inches of beading. The clasp and catch will add 3/4 of an inch to an inch depending on the type of clasp. I'm speeding the beading, but if you'd like to follow along in real time, just use the YouTube player settings. Look for the gear. Once you've strung a full row, pick up 3 more delicas and go through the open Tila hole. Pick up 3 delicas and pass through the next Tila. Continue adding 3 delicas in between the Tilas until you reach the end of the bracelet. Now we can adjust our tension and secure the thread. Reinforce the bracelet by taking your thread back through the beads. Doing a second lap helps ensure that the bracelet holds its shape and it makes a more secure connection for the clasp. Go through the 6 delicas that form the bead loop for the clasp. Pull both threads snug and carry on traveling around the bracelet. Turn your work often to make sure you're not skipping any of the delicas. It's much easier to fix mistakes now before we get to the knotting portion of events. Finish a few beads up the row to help keep the tension even. Now we'll secure the beading by tying knots around our foundation threads and hiding them in the Tila beads. Thread the tail end onto your needle, pass through a few beads, and exit right before a Tila. Wrap your working thread around the foundation threads in between a delica and the next Tila. Leave a little loop. Pass your needle through the loop once or twice. Pull the knot snug. Put your needle through the Tila and the next 3 delicas, pulling the knot into the Tila bead hole. Repeat these knotting steps a few times. You can use a tiny dab of jewelry glue or Sally Hansen Insta-Dry nail polish on your knots, but tying several knots along the bracelet is usually quite secure. Use the same knotting technique on the other side. Use a thread burner or snip off the excess thread. To attach the clasp, we'll use 2 pliers to twist open a jump ring. Twist the jump ring closed. Then do the same process to attach another jump ring for the clasp catch. Today we're building a very unique high contrast bracelet with ocean blue hematite Tila beads and sparkling crystal bicones. Thanks for being here. Now let's dive in. The key to this single needle bracelet is how we secure the thread within the first few beads. Once we have a solid foundation, we just work up and down the bracelet to complete the design. Pick up 6 delica beads on one end of your fire line. Place a single Tila bead over both ends. Now pull your thread through the beads, leaving a short 3-inch tail. Knot the thread using either a surgeon's knot or a couple of square knots. Align the knot over one of the Tila holes. Using the long end of the fire line, pick up 1 delica, 1 Tila, 1 delica. Slide all 3 beads down the long thread, then feed the short tail through them all. Tie a knot or 2 to secure the beads in the thread. String 1 more Tila over both thread ends. You can put a tiny dab of glue, or my favorite, Sally Hansen Insta-Dry Clearly Quick Nail Polish, on each knot before you hide it in the bead. But if you repeat the knotting and hiding a few times, your bracelet will be just fine without any adhesives. Use a thread burner or snip off the remaining tail. Thread the remaining end of the fire line through your needle. To start the foundation row of this unique pattern, pick up 1 delica, 1 crystal bicone, 1 delica, 1 Tila, 1 delica, 1 crystal, 1 delica. This is a unique pattern. Some might call it complicated, so I added in some freeze frames for a better look at the pattern as it's forming. Next, we want 1 Tila, 1 delica, 1 Tila, 1 delica. Then 1 crystal, 1 delica, 1 Tila, 1 delica, 1 crystal, 1 delica. Next, a Tila, a delica, a Tila, a delica. A crystal, a delica, a Tila, a delica. Then a crystal, a delica, a Tila, a delica, a Tila, a delica. One crystal, one delica, one Tila, one delica. A crystal, a delica, a Tila, a delica, a Tila, a delica. One crystal, one delica, one Tila, one delica, one Tila, one delica. One Tila, one delica, one Tila, I accidentally added in an extra delica and Tila, but it still looks great. For the clasp bead loop, string 6 delicas. Go through the open Tila hole. Now we'll zip up the other side while crossing through the crystal bicones. We'll put 1 delica between the Tilas. Once we get to the crystal, pick up a delica and needle through the crystal. Pull the thread snug. Pick up a delica and go through the next Tila. Continue adding the delicas in the same order as the first row, making sure to cross through the crystals. I'm speeding up the stringing, but if you want to bead along in real time, you can use the YouTube player settings. Just look for the gear. When you get to the end of the row, take the thread through the end bead loop and through the Tila. Now we're all set to add the perfect finishing touch of the shimmering sand-colored delica beads encircling the crystals. Thread straight through the Tilas and delicas until you come out of the delica right before the first crystal. Pick up 3 delicas, then thread through the delica right before the Tila. Continue the same pattern of stringing through the beads, exiting the delica before the crystal, picking up 3 delicas, then entering the delica before the Tila. When you get to the end of this side, thread through the bead loop and follow the exact same method of adding delicas around the crystal until you reach the end of the bracelet. Now we can secure the bracelet by adding some knots along our foundation thread and then our silver clasp. This final pacifier line through the 11/0 delicas can be a bit tight, but your tenacity will pay off. I like to use half-hitch knots. Wrap the needled thread around the foundation thread. Keep the wrap in line between 2 beads. Go through the resulting loop once or twice. Pull the knot snug and then draw the knot into the next bead. Repeat knotting and hiding the knot into the next bead 2 more times. Use a thread burner or snip off the excess thread. Use 2 pliers, twist a jump ring to open it. Add a clasp and then put the jump ring into the bead loop. Use the pliers again to gently twist the jump ring so that the cut ends align into a perfect circle. Now we'll open and attach another jump ring to serve as the clasp catch. Your beautiful beach-inspired ocean stack is now officially complete. Click right here to watch my next tutorial. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll never miss a project. Thanks for being here.